This is the Death Building in our Shake Table Lab by Ian Ward and J.P. Boiler. Before we started on our building, we made a sketch of what we had wanted in our building. It didn't have what we had after building it because it was missing poles in the middle. The building code said that we only get to use 50 straws, so we dumped my idea. JP and I had another idea, but it didn't work out because we didn't have enough straws. We made a very strong base building, but used way too many straws. JP and I used only 2 straws for the top, and it wasn't as strong as the bottom. Then we added straws in the middle for the floor. We also added extra tape to keep the straws from breaking. JP and I added a spire to the top and called our building the death floor. We also added straws in the middle to hold up the floors. Next, we bunched up a few straws to strengthen the fort poles. After, we also added an X-wing and a few TIE fighters and a Y-wing. Lastly, we added tape to the Millennium Falcon. The construction sketch was our final product and was a little bigger than the intended goal. Lastly, we measured all of its sides. After JP and I finished all the designs, we put in 4 sandbags. The floors held up perfectly and nothing broke, so the first floor was fine, but the second floor was a little weaker. When we started, our first floor, which was weak because it was more of a square than a triangle. Then we added straws to the square and made it a triangle. JP and my building's strongest parts were the bottom, the top, and the sides. Our top floor was reinforced with a triangle, and the sides were reinforced with 2 straws. The weakest parts were the middle parts and the floor. The death building's middle was only 2 straws, and the first floor was a cross not supporting the weight because the cross is a square form, and squares collapse. Tape was added to the middle to keep the straws from falling and where the straws connected. Secondly, we put the tape on the sides and we added tape to the bottom of the first floor, connecting a trash tape straw and a regular straw. JP and I used paper to create the floor, allowing the weights to stay up. We also used it for the roof of our building and also the tip of the laser blast.
95 is if you get 10. If it crashes here, then you get 9. Hey, that's 2 weeks. That's a small one. 5.
Oh, it's going down. It's going down. It's going down.
The graph shows how the building moved during the shaking. The yellow indicates forward movement, the green indicates side to side, and the blue is up and down.
How many sandbags did your building support?
Our building supported 12 sandbags.
Where did your building fail?
Our building failed in the front right corner because I just don't think that we had enough power and enough tape, and because also in the middle where there were little bits of a straw that broke apart and didn't support the floor. We also needed some more tape.
What could be added to the building if you were to do it again?
Well, we would replace the middle straw, like I said, add a few more straws to the corners, and then retape everything.
What did you learn from building an earthquake-proof building?
I learned that it's much harder than I actually thought, but it's very fun.
What did you enjoy about the lab and the building process?
I enjoyed pretty much all of it, especially the roof, because making the X-wings and the Millennium Falcon, that was pretty fun.
I hate my partner!
How many sandbags did your building support?
It supported 12 sandbags. It wasn't the strongest, but at least it holded 12.
Where did your building fail and why?
It failed when we didn't put enough tape on one of the supports, so that support started to wobble around and shake, and then our whole entire building fell just because of that support.
What do you think could be added to the building?
I could say we should add more tape onto that one support. We supported all the other supports with tape, but this one we accidentally forgot to double layer it, and it just didn't turn out as well. And I also think the middle support in the middle, that was more like a pillar, was made out of leftover straws, so we should have used an actual straw to make a support.
What did you learn about building an earthquake-proof building?
Well, I learned from building an earthquake-proof building that it is much harder than it actually looks, and there's a lot more science to it than I thought. It's not just like placing just some wood and hoping that it'll stay up. It's actually, you need to plant stuff into the ground and really sync it up with your surroundings.
What did you enjoy about the lab?
Well, I enjoyed making the roof. That was just most of it. I just liked making TIE fighters and X-Wings and Y-Wings and even the Millennium Falcon. It was just really fun making the roof. And I also liked learning what you should do during